Okay, we are live. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Staying Connected stream. We just had some minor connection problems there, but hopefully we just smoothed that out, so it should be all right. Obviously, if you've watched this before, you know by now that the way we do it is Monday we usually have a learner, Wednesday it's usually just me and Haytham, and then Friday we usually have somebody from an organization. So today I have joining me one of our learners. I have Charlotte with me. So hello Charlotte.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing? You okay?
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so first things first, Charlotte. We just spoke a little bit about it before, but I think your hat is absolutely amazing. I think we need to draw the attention to that straight away.
Right. Okay.
So I absolutely love your hat. Could you tell me the inspiration behind that? Where did that idea come from? Because I think it's really cool.
Well, basically, I've wanted this hat since I was 17. I've been looking for it. It's basically, I watched Beetlejuice
Great
when I
movie.
was 17, and I
Classic.
saw Lydia, and I just thought it was amazing, the hat, and I said I must have it.
Yeah,
Just found it quite recently, so
I totally get that. That's I mean, and it looks so cool. So why not, right? Was it hard to find? Did you stumble across it, or did you was it like difficult to find it?
actually I stumbled across it by accident because I was just thinking about buying like the straw one and then just getting black paint and painting over it because at the time because of the virus. And then when I was looking on the internet, I just found like a black one with the big brim, and I was like, I must have it.
And then
I must have
yes,
it. So I just ordered it and was
and there we
like,
go. There we go, and it looks so cool. So yeah, I think awesome. So you finally got it. You wanted it when you were 17, and you finally got it now. So that's so cool.
yeah, I've completed my life mission.
There you
Never
go.
thought I would do it during the coronavirus, but
There you go. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you probably haven't had much chance to wear it outside with the virus. So summer's
oh
coming, and
no,
then
no, this is my first showing of it, so
brilliant. Well, I'm glad we were privileged to have the honor of you showing it here. So awesome. And of all the days, it's Hat Day as well. Of course, I'm not living up to Hat Day, but I guess in a
I
way,
know.
my hair sort of looks kind of like a hat. So I guess that's almost there. But still, yeah. So so yeah. Yeah, awesome.
I'll wear a
So
hat every day unless you may.
yeah, true that, yeah. Yes, so what we usually do with all of our guests is obviously we allow them to just introduce themselves and kind of tell us who they are and what courses they've done with us, how they found out about us. So if you wouldn't mind, please, Charlotte, could you just tell me like who you are and how you got into Media Savvy? Is that all right?
Yeah, well, I'm Charlotte, and basically, I got into media savvy as I was finishing my therapy off on anxiety at Montreal Hospital, and I wasn't quite sure which direction I wanted to go to, and I had really bad burnout and
Wow.
that with my art and that, and they suggested to try media savvy because I think with my therapist I was talking about how sometimes I mess around with Photoshop and that, and she says, "Oh, is this place that do like Photoshop courses and stuff like that? Would you be interested?" And I said, "Well, I'll give it a try." And that, so I went down to the Tesco session, and it was Haytham at the time who runs them in that, and tried it out, and I really liked it, and everybody was really nice and friendly. So
That's awesome. And so obviously you started on the Tesco sessions and what did you think of first? What kind of stuff did you start to work on? Did you work your way through kind of doing tutorials, or what was kind of the first thing you did? Do you remember? I know it's casting your mind a bit far back, but
I think I did like a bunch of like tutorials that you did and that, and just kind of started from there, and then just advanced, and then I was quite interested in getting into like digital drawing and painting and that. So I just went from there and just continued doing stuff and exploring and that really.
that's absolutely awesome. And I want to ask as well. So what do you feel about the Tesco sessions in general? Do you think? I think because usually I think with the Tesco sessions, it's pretty cool because with a lot of our courses, it's usually like a set thing of what you should learn, which I think is a great way to learn a particular topic. But one of the things I like about the Tesco sessions is that it's a bit kind of more free in that aspect, as we can, whatever you want to do, we can try and help you with that. So what did you feel about that? Did you think that you kind of, it gave you some freedom to kind of explore what you wanted to do a bit more, or?
Definitely I had, like, obviously I would like ask questions and that, and obviously people would have conversations on what they're doing, or like certain things about like films and stuff like that, and just basically feel like it was more laid back and casual, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody was nice and open and just
Yeah.
nice and positive about everything.
One of the, I want to kind of we'll talk a bit more about that, but I'm thinking as well, I literally just had that thought that in the Tesco sessions, one of the things that I think is great about having people like you there is obviously you're at this point, maybe not when you first got there, but at this point, well, you already had some knowledge obviously when you first got there, but like at this point, I think that you've been with us for quite a while, and you've reached a point where your skills are quite advanced, obviously. And I think that it's great to have people like you at the Tesco session, so you can still work on your own project. But sometimes if I'm with a learner, you don't mind kind of assisting them, and some of the peer support and volunteering that you've done with us, I think has been amazing, because you've definitely helped me out a lot on sessions. So do you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of peer support. How have you found that? Have you enjoyed kind of helping people out at the Tesco sessions?
Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's nice to feel like you've like helped somebody else and on their journey and that they're exploring it, and just trying to explain things a little bit easier to them, and that like
Definitely.
help them to be more open to learn and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's awesome. So I know that you've kind of you joined us for the Tesco sessions. What did you do after that? Did you go on to do some more digital image and stuff, or what kind of thing did you do next with us?
Well, Hastings says, "Oh, we're doing this like level one course, and like ICT and Photoshop and that," and asked as if I would like to join. And I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." And like he obviously explained that I would be getting a qualification out of it, and that, so I did that with Lisa.
Brilliant.
So I did like the level one and two, and then I went back to the Tesco session, and I did like, I think I did like the voluntary course
Yeah,
one
yeah,
with
yeah.
Hastings as well. And then obviously like I was a little bit hesitant, but I started doing like the drop-in thing with Rob, like the health and fitness.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, and I was starting to like put quite a bit of weight on and getting quite self-conscious about it, and I was nervous and that, but like Rob was like really friendly and nice, and he just took his time with it and just gives us like little targets and that each week, and
yeah,
I think that's helped to like not make it feel so intimidating, or
yeah.
like I need to go on a diet or be like really strict in that with my eating and like
Definitely.
exercise and that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really cool. And just speaking a bit about kind of being on Rob's drop-in sessions, how was that at first for you? Because obviously, as you say, you come from like a digital background, so you've done stuff like Photoshop and before, and that was something that you became so confident in with your skills. How was it like stepping into a totally new kind of learning, like a totally new kind of set of classes, and a totally new kind of thing? How was that for you? Was it scary at first, or?
Um, I think it was a bit scary. I was quite anxious because I didn't know which way it was going to go. If it was going to be like, because obviously when you go into certain places and that, like with health and fitness, they get you to do all these like exercises,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to do so many of this and so many of that, and that's not what I kind of wanted. I just wanted some help and support in just getting fit and healthy, basically.
And do you feel like you got that with Rob? Do you feel like that was kind of offered to you when you came to us?
Um, I feel like because he was so nice and like friendly and that, and I told him about how I have some like health conditions and that, how I can get like joint pain in my hands and that a bit and that. obviously put that into account and kind of more personalised
Brilliant.
some of the stuff that I was doing in that.
Brilliant.
So that was really nice.
Yeah, brilliant. And I just want to say as well, like just being in the, I mean, I saw you in the Tesco sessions after you'd been to a couple of Rob sessions, and I know that I've told you before, but like I could just tell like how much weight you'd lost like in a few weeks, and I couldn't believe it when I saw you. I was like, wow. I was like, Charlotte, you've lost so much weight already. So it shows that it, it has been working. And what was that down to? Was that just down to kind of setting up a diet plan, or was that how did you how did you manage that? It was so amazing. So.
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think it was kind of just determined to like lose it and just want to be fit and healthy and just get on with it. And like obviously Rob introduced us like my like fitness pal, and that way you can log on what you're eating and that, and I think that was quite good, because if I ate like unhealthy and that, I knew I was eating unhealthy, and also I knew there would be like consequences, because like if I showed that to Rob, he'd be like, why you eating too much of this or too much of that.
So yeah, it's like kind of tracking stuff a bit better then. So that's really cool, I think. And one thing that I know that you did, I remember you saying, is that you actually you spoke a little bit just then about feeling kind of self-conscious, and you were getting yourself into a certain mindset. But I remember you mentioned how you went swimming, and like that was quite like a, we talked before we even did this call, and you said, well, I'm trying to make myself do stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable. That you said that to me. So, and I think that's a really, really good point. So that, how was it for you to go and swimming for that first time? And had you not been swimming in a while? How was that for you? That must have been quite challenging, obviously. Then.
Yeah, it was very challenging. It was actually the first time I've been in a swimming pool for 12 years at that point.
Wow.
So I was really like nervous and that.
Of course.
And obviously it took us like it took us quite a while. I said, oh, I'll do it like this month. I need to like order this, and trying to put off and that, and just like, and obviously I did one of the courses with Mel, and she said, well, you should do it and that, and I did it that week, and then I told her. I think she was quite proud of us for doing it.
Of course, yeah, and I mean, you should be proud of yourself, because that's a big step, and I think that you raised a really good point there, Charlotte. I think as people, we tend to do this thing, right, and like I do it, and I think everyone's guilty of it. It's just the fact that you want to do something, but you'll put objects, like almost psychologically, you'll put objects in front of yourself as to why you can't do it, right? So then you'll say, oh, I need to buy this thing, then I can do it. Oh, I need to do this, then I can do it, right? And it's like we always put in, and you don't realize when you're doing it, but you put these objects in front of you, and it kind of always stops you from being able to kind of do that thing. And you get the peace of mind, because you think, oh wait, I can't do it now because I don't have this, I can't do it now because I don't have that. And it's like, it's always kind of something, right, to put in front of yourself. So I think it was really good that you identified that in yourself and were like, no, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what I'm trying to do, is just trying to not make excuses and just try to go for things a little bit more often.
Brilliant. I think that's absolutely fantastic, Charlotte. That's so cool. Yeah, so that's that's a lot of kind of different stuff that you've done with us, and I think that it's absolutely awesome. But what I want to ask as well is, like, what do you think about kind of, so when I teach the Tesco sessions, obviously I've done them for a bit now, obviously, and you're obviously one of the regulars there, and I kind of feel like we've got such a great like sense of kind of community there. I would say like everyone gets on really well, everyone always has a really good conversation. And what do you think about that? You think we've got quite like a good bunch, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's like really friendly, and we'll have a bit of a laugh and just talk about all our interests and that, and probably find you things about like you films or like you artists or whatever it is, and it's really cool.
Exactly, because that's a thing that I think that I want to kind of make sure that we can kind of instill, is that it's not just the learning's so important, but it's also kind of an opportunity for us to kind of discuss stuff. And as you say, like, you're talking about kind of what artists you see, what artists you like. And I think that, to make it kind of, a place where it's nice to go to, you can learn, but you can also, have fun as well. I think that's the perfect scenario, really. Anthony said in the chat, Tesco mates today. So yeah, it's like, Anthony's in the chat, obviously. He's like a Tesco regular.
I am.
Hello, Anthony, bud. And yeah, so just catching up with the chat a little bit. Dan in Haytham says you completely smashed Hat Day. You're the Hat Day winner. So there you go. And
so what do I get for the award?
Yeah, that's a good point, guys. So what does she get for the award? Because she's the Hat Day winner. It's a good one. We might have to get like a little hat trophy. Like that might be a good thing if we can make that. So we'll see. But
you'll probably just get one of them little top hats from Monopoly or something.
There you go, right? Yeah, just a Monopoly top hat. Perfect. So yeah, Mel also said in the chat that she is, in capitals, very, very proud of you. And that's right. And, I can understand why, because what you did is really brave. And I think that it's great that you've been making that progress, Charlotte. And Mel also said that Charlotte doesn't realize how many other people she has inspired by the steps that she's made. So yeah, I think that in Rob's session and in Mel's session, when people see the progress that you're making and the steps that you're making, I think that it inspires other people as well, because then they, you're doing it together, and it also shows that it's working because they see the progress you're making. And I mean, we like lay the foundation. We put the steps there, for you to do it, but it's ultimately down to you, and you're the person who's making that change in your life. So that's absolutely awesome, I think. So yeah, good job, Charlotte.
Nice, thank you.
So yeah, exactly, that's it. So anyway, Charlotte, how have you been coping with the lockdown? That's something I want to know. How have you been coping with the lockdown?
Actually, I've done a lot better than I thought I would. At first, it was a bit hard because I'm a very routine-oriented person.
Okay.
And if somebody ruins my routine really badly, I'm just I just can't deal with it. So at first, I think obviously I was a bit worried and asked about all this, and I discussed it with my parents and that, and we're ready to just make year routine up. So I've just been making the year routine, and I think it's so important, especially for your mental health and during this time, to have some sort of routine in your life.
100%.
To make it a little bit more normalized.
Definitely. And yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I would say that around the routine is kind of having a system of time management as well. So just I think that allocating certain time to certain tasks I think is good. So I think it stops you from kind of just getting lost in stuff. If you kind of have a good system, you're I'm going to do this for an hour, and then I'll do that for 2 hours. I think that's kind of that's kind of good, because then it stops you from kind of being all over the place. So that's also routine related. I think that's great. So do you usually kind of so what kind of, speaking of routines, what kind of stuff have you been what routines have you been nurturing? Has that been related to your drawing, or has it been related to even just leisure, watching movies or something? What kind of things have you been up to?
It has been related to drawing, because I've been drawing and I've started to post some of my drawings on Instagram.
Wow.
As well.
Brilliant.
So I'm making a routine of trying to post every 4 to 6 days, and just trying to get my work out there and that, and basically just saying I'll go out for walks 3 times a week.
Brilliant.
Around my place, because I live where there's some bridle ways and that.
Okay.
So I go out quite early on the morning, so there's not a lot of people around, so I can be quite quiet and that. So, and just basically saying cooking and that, really just trying to
awesome.
do a little bit more.
Yeah. So I think they're all very healthy and great things to kind of invest your time into. And I spoke about it a little bit before, and you were telling me about some vegetable ramen that you made. How was that? It was vegan ramen. Sorry. So how did you make that? What was was that difficult or?
Um, it wasn't too difficult. Like, I think getting some of the very specialised sort of like ingredients that you need, like shiitake mushrooms, and that can
Oh
be
yeah,
quite hard
yeah,
because they
definitely.
only sell them in certain shops and
True.
that. But I thought it was pretty straightforward and that. And obviously, I had mine with a little bit of chicken,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not bacon anymore, obviously. And I had it with like a hard boiled egg and that, and it
Sounds lovely.
actually was really nice.
Sounds lovely. Yeah. So that's that. There you go. And I think that there's definitely something to cooking something and eating it yourself. And when you make something successfully, especially a dish that you've never done before, there's definitely like a special kind of satisfaction you get in just looking at something you've made and being like, this looks really good. I'm excited to eat this. I definitely agree there. And also, it's probably cheaper. It's healthier, and you're learning as well. So there's so many, like, you're killing so many birds with just one stone there. So definitely think that that's
I
awesome.
definitely I
Talking.
have made the rice dish from Mel's soup and short as well.
Wow, awesome, brilliant. So was that so you obviously watched Mel's show, and then did you kind of pick it up while you were watching it? Did you like learn it as you went?
I kind of watched the stream and then obviously went back and watched it again, and obviously she sends like the PDFs of the like recipes and that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and also I am gonna do some of the like dessert stuff because I've been waiting for some baking powder, which just came
Wow.
today in the post. So
So there you
hopefully
go.
I'll be doing that quite soon.
Ready to rock and roll.
Like
Well,
it's like all dust that at the minute.
definitely, Charlotte. If you get the chance, send us some pictures in because I'm sure we would love to kind of have those and be able to kind of see what you're getting up to. So that's absolutely awesome. But that's so cool. So how was it? How was the rice dish? Did it go well? Or was it? How was it?
I think it went quite well.
Brilliant.
And
Perfect.
my dad seemed to like it as well because he had some with it. So
Excellent, excellent. So there you go. So yeah, that's absolutely cool. I think that's so cool. That yeah, that you've been kind of spending that time in cooking and you've been advancing your skills in that because it's like an essential life skill. I mean, there's nothing more essential than eating, right? Like eating, it's like it's
no,
exactly, and it's that's. Do you know what it is? Like it's. I'm thinking now, like how crazy that is that there's people who can't like cook anything, and like if you're watching this and you're one of those people, like I understand that, and like I get it because you're not alone. There's a lot of people who can't, but it's just like such a basic fundamental skill when you think about it, right? Like you need to eat every single day, at least like twice or three times a day. You literally need to survive. So it's like it just makes so much sense that you would like invest time into making yourself good at being able to cook nice food. Um, and do you know what it is as well? I think that in England we've got like a culture where we people look at food as just like, oh, I just need to do this. I need to eat twice a day. But food is one of the great joys of life, really is. And I think when you really learn how to enjoy food, like you start to find things you really like, it's the best. Eating is the best. So yeah, definitely,
oh definitely, yeah.
absolutely. Um, yeah, I love cooking my own good food. I love going to good restaurants, and I think yeah, eating is amazing. Um, Okie dokie. So, oh yeah, you were talking about your drawing, right, Charlotte? So, what kind of stuff have you been drawing at the moment? What kind of projects have you been working on?
Um, just been drawing like some like kind of creature designs a little bit, and
Oh wow,
been doing some like watercolor paintings and that, which I've
wow,
been just posting the Instagram. So
cool, cool. Yeah. Well, like if you ever want us to feature your Instagram on staying connected, just send us a link, and me and Hafen will feature it. And get you some followers. But likewise, it's up to you. If not, as well, it's fine. But yeah, we'd be sure we'd be more than happy to. So watercolors, how's that been going? Is that like been tough or
I think one alright. I think I've seen like a few followers here and there. I
brilliant?
think I posted something this morning and it seems to have gotten a lot of likes and that.
That's so cool. I'm
So
so happy to hear that.
and
So,
then there's like other like pictures that I've posted previously
hmm
and they've liked them. So that's
brilliant.
been pretty nice.
Awesome. So keep it up, Charlotte. So I remember when I talked to you a while ago about that, you mentioned to me that you wanted to you wanted to kind of create like time lapses of your work. So when you'd been working on your tablet or your graphics tablet, you wanted to be able to
Yeah.
there were certain programs. You had a program that would record like a mini time lapse, and you wanted to put that on Instagram. Have you had any joy with that? Have you been working on that at the moment, or?
Unfortunately, not at the really. It's
Okay.
like literally the time. Well, the video recordings came to like 90 minutes, and I
Right.
haven't even finished the thing. So I can't imagine how you would condense that into less minutes.
Well,
So
yeah. So well, if you want more kind of on, I'm sure you know, but like if you want to look at more how to do a time lapse, it'll probably be something that I'll cover on my video editing classes. So
yeah,
maybe this Friday, or if not this Friday, it'll definitely be something we cover, so we can look a bit more at time lapses and how to make a good time lapse. But I'm sure once you get the hang of that, or if you get that file and you whack it into Premiere and you just right click on it, speed duration, put the speed duration like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and then it'll take that 90 minutes right down to like 2 minutes or something, and it'll look fast, but it'll look good. So something to think about there if you want to do that, and obviously we'll cover it in our class as well. So maybe more on that, yeah, because I'm sure that there'll be some really cool time lapses that you could do, and those kind of things on Instagram are great. But yeah,
yeah. I
definitely.
need to get like a tripod for my camera and that, and try to do some like time lapses of like traditional artwork and that. That'd be quite
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. How's things been with your camera? Obviously, because I know you brought in the Tesco a couple of times. Have you been out in the park taking any pictures or anything?
Um, I have brought it around when I've been out for my walk,
Perfect.
and I did find this like section of like I don't know what it was. It was like a wood or forest, but it was so weird because it looked quite like enchanted and fairy tale. But like before then, I walked through a lot of like, unfortunately, like as obviously kids being like drinking and burning stuff and that.
Oh.
So I'm walking through all these cans of like cider and Fosters or whatever it is, and then you just come to this like really like fairy tale, like surrealist kind of part of it, and
Yeah.
it's like
Sounds
so
nice though.
mad.
Yeah, and
So
I
I'll put
mean,
some pictures of like that, and hopefully like for like inspiration for like a landscape or something in like
yeah.
drawing or painting.
It sounds that sounds really nice. Yeah, like the little hidden gems. But also with your kind of expertise in that, you know, I think you could create like a really cool project. So you could, I mean, this is just me thinking off the top of my head, but and I'm sure this is kind of where you were going with the idea, but you could put that background, you could put that picture onto Photoshop, right? You could literally draw on top of it. Like you could draw, because you said you would design some creatures. You could draw some of your creatures, put them in the picture. Then you could add some like adjustment layers and stuff, and you could create like a
Yeah.
really cool kind of digital image, right? Like a cool kind of digital picture.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that sounds great.
And then, and then what would
And
be
what would be
so cool?
so cool is, can I ask,
Is your headphones came out?
your
Charlotte?
headphones came out, Charlotte?
Yeah, I can still hear you. It's just on my phone now.
Would you be able to put them back in just because I'm getting a bit of echo?
Okay, just because I'm
that's
getting a bit of echo.
Right, just
all. If that's
just a
possible.
second. Sorry.
It's okay, take your time. No problem at all. Mel was saying that, yeah, there we go. It's all good.
Don't know why I switched off.
Totally fine. How's it going? Is it all right there for you? Just take your time. Can you hear me there? It's still coming up that it's fine, yeah. You still hear okay there, Charlotte? I'll just give you a moment. Just
Yeah.
okay. There we go. Perfect. All good. I think I might have just frozen a little bit there, but there you go. Perfect. We're all good.
That better.
That's
Sorry
it.
about that.
That's it. That's totally fine. It was literally just because it was like echoing a bit.
I just don't know why it's switched off. That's what I get for using Bluetooth headphones, isn't it?
They just do that sometimes, don't they? Because they'll be like, "Oh, you're not using this," but they don't actually know. So then they'll just disconnect, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, why are you doing this to me? Yeah, fair enough though. So I wanted to ask Charlotte, so you said you've been watching the streams, right? So you said you've been watching the Mel's streams. You said you did the rice dish. Have you been watching any of the other streams at all? I've seen you live in the chat quite a bit. So, what kind of?
Yeah, most of the time when I'm like drawing and that, I have it in the background a bit. So I think I've watched quite a few of the photo pay
Yes,
sessions and
definitely.
been doing some of the health and fitness ones, what Mel's been putting on as well.
Perfect. That's awesome, man. So you've been pretty active, keeping up with them, and that's awesome. We love to see that, and we love having you in the chat as well because it kind of makes things a bit more kind of I guess fun for us, for lack of a better word, just because we can talk to you and everything, and like when there's more people in the chat, there's more kind of chance for us to kind of talk to people and engage with people, so it just makes everything better in general. So we definitely appreciate you having you there. I think that's awesome. So I also want to ask Charlotte, yes, I remembered that you did some really good photo piece stuff. You sent me one of your pieces of work and I thought that was awesome, the movie poster, right?
Yeah, I thought you might like it.
Yeah, I loved it. That was so cool. So yeah, I made sure that we saved that, and I thought that was awesome. And have you been keeping up at all with Ella's? Because I know Ella's kind of we'll pass the torch on to Ella, and she's kind of doing it at the moment. So I've been tuning in a bit, and her sessions look really, really cool.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with them. I'm just finished. Well, she started like the vector one where you made like a little town in there.
Wow.
So I've got a few finishing touches to put on that, and I'll send that over to her and
brilliant.
see what she thinks.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing that. That's really cool. I look forward to seeing what kind of town you would create as well, because I'm sure you're going to use some pretty cool colors. So I'm definitely interested to see that.
Nice.
That sounds pretty cool. Yes, so Charlotte, have you seen anything uplifting in the news or anything online? Because I know that's an item that we feature usually is kind of positive and uplifting news. Have you seen any of that yourself at all, or is there anything that sticks in your mind?
To be honest, I don't really look at the news, especially these days, because it just seems all negative. And then I was looking at it a bit, and then it just seemed like they'd be getting worse and worse. And after I heard there was fires at Chernobyl, and that I was like, you know what, I just don't want anything to do with this.
I can understand.
I think the only thing that I've been saying is when I think I sent it to you in Hazen, where when I was walking around, like people were putting like little drawings of rainbows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool.
There's been a lot more around there, like.
Right.
I think when I walked further up, which I didn't get the chance to do, some people like make a little shrine saying like Happy Easter and a little Easter egg hanging and little polystyrene eggs and that.
So
I thought was great too.
That's awesome. So guys, so Charlotte, just for the people that might not have seen that stream that me and Haytham talked about, could you just tell us a little bit about what you're talking about?
Well, basically, there's like, I live quite near woods. It's called like Blakeney Woods. It's only about 10 or 15-minute walk down mine. And basically, people were hanging like signs of like thanking the NHS and just saying stay positive and just thanking key workers and that. And there were like little rocks where people painted rainbows and that, and like little sculptures. And I think the one that I found, which I thought was really sweet, it was like a little house, and then it had like a little tray with like breadcrumbs and that for the birds and that, which I thought was quite cute. And there was bangles, so this is one of them what I picked up.
Oh wow, so you actually managed to pick one up. That's so cool.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks later they had these in a little bag as well.
That's so lovely.
Like these little ball things. I don't know what they are, but I just thought they were pretty cool. And they
really
said
cute.
I could pick one up, one per person. So
yeah,
when it's free, so why not?
It's what they're there for.
And just basically the same, stay safe and stay home and that.
And I think it's lovely that it's a stressful time for everybody, obviously. And I think it's lovely that, people are out in the community just trying to perk people up a little bit. And I really have a lot of time for that. So that's that's fantastic, and it's making people's lives a little bit better. So lots of you know, I've got a lot of time for that kind of stuff. All right, Charlotte. So I think it's about time that we'll have a little look at some uplifting articles. I've got a couple here we can have a look at. It may be a little
Right.
bit slower for you if you're watching it also on your laptop. It may come up a little bit later.
Right.
But I'll talk about the article and I'll kind of mention what's going on as well, so we can have a little look. Okie dokie. So this will be the first one. Okie dokie. Just give me a moment. All right. Fantastic. All right. So this one here is the end of plastic. The new plant-based bottles will degrade in a year, and it says that Carlsberg and Coca-Cola back a pioneering. I've literally forgot how to talk. Pioneering project to make all plant drinks bottles. So that basically means that these beer and soft drinks could soon be sipped from all plant bottles under new plans to turn sustainably grown crops into plastic in partnership with major beverage makers. I'm just going to read this last article here. This last bit here, it says a biochemicals company in the Netherlands hopes to kickstart investment in a pioneering project. That is a little bit of a tongue twister, that one, isn't it? Pioneering project. Well, maybe not, but it's maybe just me. But that hopes to make plastics.
Everything's a tongue twister to me.
Yeah, same. Make plastics from plant sugars rather than fossil fuels. So yeah, and you know, you've already got Carlsberg and Coca-Cola back in this, and I think that this is amazing. So it says here, there's a picture.
That's pretty cool, that.
Yeah, and it says that there's a picture here, and it's a mound of plastic bottles that are recycling plant near Bangkok in Thailand. Around 300 million tons of plastic is made every year, and most of it is not recycled. So if they're working on this plant-based bottle that degrades in a year, I think that's absolutely amazing, right? Like that's like so.
Yeah.
So cool.
Definitely, like I've made the switch at using British filters because we in this household we were using a lot of little plastic bottles, and like the recycling bin would, like, there's about 4 people who live in the house, and like, but like literally the recycling bin will be full like less than the week, and like 90% of that was plastic bottles. And
wow, yeah.
I think it just, when things like that just build up, I think it just makes you realise, and if they are not biodegradable, because I think most plastic takes about 1,000 years, and obviously if you have a lot of that, it's going to take millions of years to totally biodegrade. So I think it's pretty cool that we're doing something like that to tackle the problem.
100%, and that's a really good insight there, Charlotte, and I think you gave some really good feedback there. Exactly, it would take a long time for it to biodegrade otherwise. So hopefully that this works, and it seems great to me, and it's, especially if big companies are getting behind it, then that's perfect. I've got another one here. It says that, if it loads, it says that plans are in place to roll out a COVID-19 vaccine to 30 million people by September if trials are successful. So yeah, the UK has announced further 170 deaths of people with coronavirus. It's saying blah blah blah. Yes, so we've got progressing well. There's a drug here, and it says that the government's now committed more than £1 billion towards developing a COVID vaccine, and that in order to definitively conquer this vaccine, we need to find a safe, workable vaccine. So here we go. We have the first clinical trial of the Oxford vaccine is progressing well, with phase 1 participants having received their vaccine dose on schedule earlier this week. And it says that the speed at which Oxford University has designed and organised these complex trials is genuinely unprecedented. So I think this looks really promising. Obviously nothing is for certain yet, but it's saying that there's plans to roll out a vaccine to 30 million people by September if these trials are successful. So what do you think about that, Charlotte?
That would be amazing if they did that, because vaccines can take years and years to do, and the fact that somebody's made a vaccine in like less than a year, like what they said, it's just extraordinary.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's great, and it's we hope that this is the whole world is going to be able to kind of find a vaccine eventually. But this is great, particularly for the UK, for it to come from our country. I mean, that's great that Oxford have been doing that, and well done to them. I mean, obviously we can't speak too soon as it's not nothing's 100% yet, but just that the potential of that seems very promising. So I think that's something to maybe to look out for, to keep up with.
oh yeah, definitely.
We have an article here, and it says that hundreds of cities worldwide make streets into cycling and pedestrian walkways, and they plan to stay that way. So greenhouse gas emissions are set to decline a record-breaking 8% this year, which is a happy accident of the coronavirus. And obviously, I think you've been keeping up with some of the Staying Connected, Charlotte. We've looked a bit at that, how air pollution is decreasing, river pollution is decreasing, and obviously the lockdown it's not pleasant for anybody, but that is one of the happy accidents there.
Yeah. I think, like what I said, one of the chats, I think it's Mother Nature telling us something.
Definitely, yeah.
If we don't change our ways, something bad's going to happen. So
yeah, and I think that this thing here about the streets being converted into cycleways, and it's generally going to be infrastructure based. That there's going to be some cities which just could never do this because of the layout of the city, but there is a lot of cities that can do it that aren't doing it. And if you've ever been to Amsterdam, obviously, or many parts of Holland, that is obviously infrastructure based, where they've got their infrastructure set up around how they can have these bicycles, but lots of people use bikes, and it is very kind of eco-friendly because of that. So this is what we're seeing as a cause of the coronavirus, and it's saying here that Colombia's had a head start when the virus began to spread in the mid-city. They closed the main roads and decided to scale the program up. So they said within days, Bogota in Colombia opened nearly 47 miles of new temporary bike routes, adding to 340 miles of paved protective paths and almost 17 miles of automobile lanes to bike routes overnight. And it says that Paris has been a leader in the car-free streets movement. Now the capital city is building 650 kilometers, which is about 400 miles of new Corona cycleways, as they call them. And it says that these will be permanent as part of the city's larger mobility plan. And it says that the city has accelerated construction of dedicated cycle highways in response to the pandemic. So I think that's awesome. And then it also talks about how Milan is doing this, and I think that's really cool. And I could definitely see something like this taking place in London maybe. And I think that the way that something like this is going to work, it's almost, it would take like a pandemic for something like this to be able to work, because you need to have the roads clear to kind of build the infrastructure or to convert the infrastructure. Otherwise it would just be impossible, because you couldn't stop all transportation for a day. Like it would just be mayhem in somewhere like London. But when you've got a pandemic, there's no cars on the road hardly, so it enables them to be able to kind of make these things. So I think that it's hopeful, and hopefully we can see more of that in the future. And then Anthony in the chat says that he heard London are planning to trial e-scooters, so that might be pretty cool. And it is actually, when I was in Poland, I saw those kind of e-scooters, and they're pretty fun. So maybe yeah, they're pretty cool. He's one of my favorite ones.
I think it'll have more like health benefits, and like it has a lot of benefits because it'll have like that environmentally benefit as well, but it'll have like health benefit of the person, like physically and that.
Brilliant point. That's a really brilliant point, Charlotte. So yeah, it's not just going to help. It's not just going to help the person it's not just going to help the environment, but it's also going to help the person's health. So I think that that makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really good that it's it has two good effects, probably more. But yeah, good point. Here's a little story I've got here which I absolutely love. It's just like a cute feel-good story, and it says that a pet ferret helped donate thousands of books to kids by finishing a full marathon in 3 weeks. So there you go, and it says that the little critter may only be 8 months old, but that hasn't stopped him from raising thousands of dollars for charity. Over the course of just 2.5 weeks, Bandit, the pet ferret, managed to complete a full marathon by taking the challenge in his tiny stride and completing 7 miles per day alongside his owners, bless him. And it says that Jim and Arabella took Bandit out for a walk to raise money for the London Children's Book Project and the At the Bus art charity. So both organisations are putting together bundles of books and creative resources that will be handed out to thousands of young people in the Oxfordshire area. Bless. That's so cute.
Too much.
Yeah, and it says the effort began on what would have been the day of the London Marathon as part of the 2 for 6 challenge for UK citizens to run 2.6 miles for charities. But when Bandit showed no signs of tiring, the family decided to go the full 26.2 miles. So good job to Bandit there, and there's a little picture of him after he's been smashing his marathon. Oh, bless him.
So cute.
Yeah, that's awesome. And they've made like a little finish line for him as well. Bless him. That's so cute. Oh. So yeah, that's just a nice little feel-good story there as well. But yeah, I mean, you guys should have seen Diego. I think that Diego, still to this day, but you know, especially over the last few years, Diego's done so much like endurance stuff. Diego, our company dog, he did the Free Peaks with us, and the Free Peaks is, I can't remember how many miles, but there's a lot of hills, and it's a full day of like hiking. And Diego absolutely smashed that like last year. So, and that's not the first time he's done it as well. He smashed it before. So yeah, like I know it's a bit unfair to compare a ferret to like a super fit dog, but still, it's definitely worth noting Diego's achievements in endurance sport. You've met Diego before, right, Charlotte? Have you met him in the office?
Oh yeah, of course I am.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna say, yeah, we all love Diego. Yeah, so Gary was laughing at that there. Yeah, so I think there was some good kind of positive stories there, and just want to kind of briefly mention some of the updates that we've got, like what we've got coming up this week, Charlotte. I just wanted to say that we have tomorrow. I'll just find my place here. Let's have a look. Okie dokie. Yes. No. Yeah. Okay. So we have pre-employability and well-being, episode 2 of 5. We have that with Mel, and that might be myself or Haytham. I don't know if that's been decided yet, but one of us will be taking that, and that is from 10 until 12 tomorrow. And then on Wednesday we have healthy eating on a budget, so you can tune into that one, Charlotte, and see what Mel's doing next. I'm not sure if she's announced that yet, but I'm sure there'll be something lovely there. And now that you've got your baking powder, you know, you can join in with a dessert as well.
Nice.
And yes, and I'm gonna catch up with the chat in a second. I'll just finish this, and then we have on that Wednesday as well. So that's Mel's lesson is Wednesday 10 to 12. And then we have Staying Connected with me and Haytham, which is Wednesday 4 to 5. And then there's a replay of the Family E-Safety session on Thursday from 10 to 12. If you haven't seen that, it might be a good opportunity to see it. It will just be a repeat, and it'll be the first episode, but you get a chance to watch it again if you didn't before. And then we have on the Friday, we have video editing episode 2 of 5 with myself, Daniel. So stay tuned to that, guys. I wanted to edit some actual footage for this one, because I know that a lot of people always ask for me to edit footage, and they want to be able to kind of edit footage themselves. So I'll make sure to post the resources for that, and you can download it yourself, and we can edit like a little short film together. Should be fun. So we'll see how that goes. Well, it's a little scene. We'll edit like a little scene together. And then on Friday as well, we have Staying Connected from 4 to 5. So plenty going on. I'm just going to catch up with the chat there, Charlotte. And Dan says 26.2 miles. So that's what the Free Peaks was. And he says that he's twitching when I say his name, Diego. So that's blessing, which is so cute. And yeah, Mel said that it's a full marathon. So yeah, Diego smashed a full marathon last year, and he's done that like throughout his life. He's been smashing stuff like that, so that's awesome. You know, he's super fit, dog. Tomorrow's wellbeing course is covering macronutrients in diet, is what Mel says, and that the live cooking is a vegetable pie inspired by Paul. I don't know, did you get a chance to see the last Friday's Staying Connected, Charlotte?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, so
I know.
Paul,
I think I started that because Lynn said, "Oh, I'm thinking about that pie."
there you go.
But Mel will tell us if I eat it, and then I'll put in the chat, "I am as well."
There you
Mel
go.
needs to do a healthy chicken and mushroom pie,
Well, there
and
you
then
go.
it just started spiraling all the comments. So
Well, yeah, that's it. Your wishes come true because tomorrow you are going to have a vegetable pie, so that should be awesome. And she said that
it's a shame that she can't collaborate with Paul. Like,
I know, maybe in the future though. Once that's actually not a bad suggestion. So I think that maybe when the lockdown is over, there could be like a joint media savvy cooking with Chef Paul, and you know, that sounds brilliant. I think so. It's something for the future maybe. And yes, the dessert is a free ingredient biscuit, so that sounds good as well. Definitely can get amongst that. I might have to start making some of them myself. You know, the blueberry muffin, it's like one of my favorite desserts ever. So I'm probably gonna make that, I think, at some point, because that, you know, I love that. But yeah,
the chocolate cake looked really nice as well.
Oh my god, don't even get me started. It looks so good. I was editing the highlights last week and I was just looking at it like, oh man, I'm so hungry. It did look amazing, you're right. Okay, awesome. Lynn says bring on the pie. So it looks like you guys are gonna have a good fun session tomorrow. Or Wednesday, sorry. Yes, so that is about it. Thank you for joining us, Charlotte. I think you know you did amazing. I knew you would. And it was good catching up with you.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime, you're always welcome. And it was good kind of catching up and seeing what you've been up to. Is there anything at all that you would like to add, like about anything, or are you happy with that?
I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Totally fine. Yeah, that's it. I think we covered most of the things. So yeah, Charlotte, I'll look forward to kind of seeing some more of you cooking. I look forward to seeing more of your digital work or your watercolors when you post them on your Instagram. And yeah, make sure you send across that rice dish whenever you get the chance as well, if you got any pictures of it, or some of the next things you're going to make now you've got the baking soda, because we always look forward to stuff like that. And that thing for Ella as well, you've been so busy, there's so much stuff I can't I'm trying to remember it all. And the thing that you said you were doing Ella's Town as well, that you were almost finished, so much stuff, Charlotte. So we look forward to seeing all of that. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And I think that, guys, that is about it for me and Charlotte. If you do have any questions, get them in now. Lynn said that it was nice to hear a bit more about you, Charlotte, so that's awesome. And everyone says good job. Mel's really excited at the idea of doing cooking with Chef Paul. Anthony says it was nice to see you. So yeah, that's the closing comment there. Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all, Matthew. It's our pleasure. So yes, guys, I think me and Charlotte are gonna go, and I'm gonna leave. Obviously, we have the advice lines. I'm gonna leave them on for a couple of minutes, just so you guys can have a look at those if you're needing them, or if you just kind of want to make a note of them as well. And obviously, it is Mental Health Awareness Week, so it's rather fitting that we have a little look at that. But I think that is going to be it for me and Charlotte. So thank you very much, guys, and I will see you later.